Okay, now it's time for practice. So let's open the content drawer and to create a new Niagara system. Here, new system from selected emitter. Next, let's start with the empty emitter, plus icon, finish. And let's write it, name it smoke effects here. Okay, let's go inside. And here by default, you'll see this emitter. First, let's click right button here and to rename it to smoke. After that, let's find our material which we built. So what you can do, you have to open the content drawer to click on the material and to click this arrow here, and immediately you replace it with the material you choose in the content drawer. Here have to be analyte and here face camera. And also, as I told you in the intro, we have to be careful with the number of the sprites here inside the material. So SubUV have to be 8 by 8 because here they're 8 by 8. So, okay, here we are ready. With the emitter state, we have to click the plus icon and to add a spawn rate because we have to add a number of the particles which will spawn from the beginning. So, for example, let's write 2 and we already have our smoke, which is without any animation inside. Okay, initialize particles, it's important because here it's our lifetime, our size. So if you want to give different variation of the lifetime, some of the particles to die earlier, some of them later, you have to click here to the lifetime, direct set, and this arrow to click random range float. So here we have places to add two values. So we'll add 5 and 7 because our smoke have to last longer. So that's why between 5 and 7 will be enough. Some of them will die in time like 5.3, some of them will die in time 6.4, for example. So we have more variations of our particles here and the smoke will look more realistic. So that's why we're adding these two values. Of course, you can click this arrow here and to bring it back to one menu here only with one value, for example, 8, but all of them will die on the same time and also will look like a smoke, but not the perfect smoke. So here, one more time, random range float, 5 and 7. Okay, let's continue. Cover mode, of course, we will need a cover, but here I will keep it unset because we will make especially another node here into the graph from the left side where we will add the cover. So for now, unset, it's perfect for here. Position mode, we have to keep it disabled. We don't need it because it's in the middle of our scene. So if you activate it here, you can choose from where our smoke to start. You can see how we are moving it in our viewport. So I'm moving, now it's here. This is the position. So 0 in the middle, it's enough. So I will stop it. Okay, sprite attributes. Here is the sprite size. It's important because from here we will giving the size of our particles. Now it's too small. So let's click unset here. After that, non-uniform. Now sprite size, we have to click on this arrow on the right and to find vector 2D from float. So multiply vector 2D from float, it's our, and here the value, not the value, sorry. Here to the, let's see which one, it's here the float. Let's click here and to add random range float, for example, and now we can add two values again to our size. So let's write 250 and 350. So some of our texture will be between the size of 250 and 350. Again, it's same like the lifetime. We have more details here. So like that, it's perfect. Here we have sprite rotation mode. Let's click on it, direct angle degrees. Let's add some rotation to our smoke. And again, random range float here. And let's write something -30 and 30. So some of the particles will spawn in different rotation place, so it will rotate in every particle. Okay, the other stuff, mesh attributes, ribbon attributes, we won't need them because here we're using sprite renderer. If you're using mesh renderer, you will make corrections here on the mesh attributes. But when it's Sprite, you don't need to touch the mesh stuff. Okay, let's continue with the other stuff. Here we have to click the plus button and to add a shape location. So the shape location will be sphere. So this is the location from where our particles will start spawning. It's too much. Let's write 8. Okay, it's enough. And this is everything for the shape location. Okay, now it's time to give a power of our particles. So let's add a velocity here. Velocity, it's important. Fixed issue. Okay. And let's click here to, let's see, in cone, we have different type of velocity from point. No, so we'll keep it linear. And here we will give again 2 values for better details. Random range vector here. And let's write something like 40 here, 65 here. Why not? Okay, maybe not 40, 35, 65. Okay, here 5 and minus 5, for example. Here, let's give like 30 and 50, for example. Okay, and we have the smoke power and how it's emitting. So it's fine, but we have to give another animation to our textures here. So this plus icon, and let's write SubUV animation, and here let's activate them. And here have to be sprite render. And now you can see how the animation is working to our textures. So it's 8x8, that's why here it's how much is 8x8, like it's 64. So 64, and we'll have the perfect animation of our particles. Or 63, doesn't any matter. Okay, let's continue with the other settings here. We have to add a drag. We need a friction. So the drag, it's important here, and have to be, okay, rotational drag, we will stop it. We will use only the main drag and have to be 0.5, for example. We don't need a bigger value than this one. 0.5, it's enough. Now let's add acceleration force to help the velocity for more details. And let's see, the acceleration force is 0, 0, 0. Again, let's click on this arrow, random range vector, and let's add values like 15 here, 30, maybe 30 here, here 10, minus 10, here 5 and 15, for example. Okay, so force and velocity have to be like that here. SubUV, it's already here, so we need to add the color now. So it's too brighter now. Plus icon, color, and here color from curve. And now let's decrease the opacity to 0.30 and here to 0. So here they will fading at the end of their lifetime, and now it looks much better. But now it's in the same size all the time. It have to start smaller and to increase during the lifetime. So what we have to do, we have to click here the plus, scale sprite size, it's here, and now the scale sprite size, they have to start small, but not that small, like 0.5, and at the end of the animation to increase the size. So for example, it's okay, maybe here we want to increase them earlier than at the end of the animation, so here will be 0.7, for example. And now we have a nice smoke. Maybe the color it's bright, and we have to decrease it even more, so 0.2 will be enough. And let's click save. Now let's close. I will delete this ready smoke from before, and here we'll add our smoke to our scene. And you can see our smoke, it looks perfect.